1 year ago today, a telescope in Chile looked at a smudge of light and flagged something wrong. That smudge wasn't orbiting our sun. It wasn't born in our solar system. It wasn't going to stay. It had come from somewhere else, another star, another planetary system, possibly older than our sun itself, and it was cutting straight through our neighborhood at over 130,000 miles an hour. Scientists pointed the world's best telescopes at it: Hubble, Webb, even a radio array built to listen for aliens. This is the story of 3I/Atlas, only the third confirmed visitor from beyond our solar system in the history of astronomy. Welcome back. I'm David. This is SciTales. Last time, we went after the dark matter, dark energy, 95% of the universe we can't explain. Today, we're chasing something that's actually right in front of us, or rather, was, before it disappeared back into deep space. 3I/Atlas, discovered July 1st, 2025, confirmed as interstellar within days, tracked by NASA, ESA, and nearly every major observatory on Earth for the better part of a year. We're covering how it was found, what makes it genuinely stranger than any comet we've ever studied, the serious scientific debate over whether it might be artificial, and what happened when SETI actually pointed a radio telescope at it and listened. By the end of this episode, you'll understand exactly what flew past us, and why an object that weighs almost nothing, in cosmic terms, briefly had some of the world's top scientists debating whether we'd just been visited by something built, not born. Let's go. Segment 1. How do you even find something like this? Every comet and asteroid we've ever mapped in our solar system shares one thing in common: an orbit that loops around the sun. Ellipses, closed paths. They belong here. On July 1st, 2025, the Atlas Survey Telescope, Asteroid Terrestrial Impact, Last Alert System, based in Rio Hurtado, Chile, flagged an object that didn't fit that pattern at all. Its path wasn't an ellipse. It was a hyperbola, a trajectory so steep and so fast that the sun's gravity could never pull it into orbit. It was always just passing through. Astronomers dug back through archival images and found traces of it as early as June 14th, 2.5 weeks before anyone noticed. Within days, the Minor Planet Center confirmed it. This was only the third interstellar object ever detected entering our solar system, after Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. That's why it's named 3I/Atlas. 3I for third interstellar, Atlas for the telescope that caught it. Here's the detail that should stop you. 3I/Atlas never passed close enough to any planet to get flung onto this path by gravity. It didn't slingshot out of our solar system. It arrived already moving this fast, meaning that speed, that exact trajectory, was set in motion around another star, sometime in the deep past, and it has been drifting through interstellar space ever since, until it happened to cross paths with us. It came within about 1.4 astronomical units of the Sun, just inside Mars's orbit, at closest approach in late October 2025, and got no closer to Earth than roughly 170 million miles. We were never in any danger, but for a few months, we had a genuine outsider in our solar system, and every major telescope on and off the planet turned to look at it. Segment 2. And this is where it stops being just another comet. When the James Webb Space Telescope analyzed the gas coming off 3I/Atlas, researchers found something odd, an unusually high ratio of methane to water, roughly 11 times higher than anything ever measured in a solar system object. That alone raised eyebrows. But the bigger story came from a different instrument entirely. Astronomers using the ALMA radio telescope array in Chile measured the comet's water at the molecular level and found it contained deuterium, a heavier form of hydrogen, at more than 40 times the concentration found in Earth's oceans and over 30 times what we see in solar system comets. Why does that matter? Deuterium-rich water like this only forms one way, in extremely cold molecular clouds in deep interstellar space, typically below -240 degrees Celsius. That's colder than anywhere our own solar system ever got while forming. Which means 3I/Atlas didn't just come from another star system. It formed in a colder, more ancient environment than the one that built the Earth, the Sun, and everything you've ever touched. Based on this chemistry, researchers now estimate 3I/Atlas may be somewhere between 10 and 12 billion years old, potentially twice the age of our own solar system, which is a comparatively young 4.5 billion years old. If that estimate holds, this object was already ancient before our sun had finished forming. Think about that shape in your head for a second. A chunk of ice and dust, drifting alone between the stars, for longer than Earth has existed, and it just happened to cross our path this year. Segment 3. And here's where the story left the science pages and hit the front page. Not everyone was satisfied with ancient natural comet. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who previously made headlines suggesting the very first interstellar object, Oumuamua, might have been artificial, looked at 3I/Atlas's odd chemistry, its unusual trajectory, and its size, and publicly raised the question again. Could this be technology, not geology? On a televised interview in June 2026, Loeb pointed to the object's high methane readings and asked, half provocatively, whether it might even hint at biological activity. Microbes in this iceberg, as he put it. To be clear about where mainstream science landed, the overwhelming consensus from NASA, ESA, and the broader astronomy community is that 3I/Atlas is a completely natural comet. The unusual chemistry is explained by where and when it formed. An ancient, ultra-cold interstellar environment, not by anyone building it. Loeb's own writing acknowledges this is the most likely outcome, even as he argues the alternative is worth testing rigorously. And it was tested. Rigorously. The SETI Institute pointed the Allen Telescope Array, 42 radio dishes in Northern California built specifically to hunt for alien technology, directly at 3I/Atlas. For more than 7 hours, they scanned a huge swath of the radio spectrum, from 1 to 9 gigahertz, hunting for narrowband signals, the kind of tightly focused radio transmission that nature doesn't produce, but technology does. They picked up nearly 74 million signals. After stripping out human interference, Wi-Fi, satellites, cell towers, and filtering for anything actually moving with the comet through the sky, about 200 candidate signals remained for closer review. Every single one traced back to Earth. Our own satellites, our own infrastructure. 0 signals came from 3I/Atlas. So, not a spaceship, not a message, just an extraordinarily old, extraordinarily well-studied lump of interstellar ice, which, if you think about it for more than 5 seconds, is arguably a far stranger thing to have flown past us than a spaceship would have been. Segment 4. Here's a detail that gets lost in the aliens or not debate. 2025 and 2026 turned out to be an incredible dress rehearsal for interstellar object science. Because 3I/Atlas passed roughly through the plane of our solar system, an enormous number of existing spacecraft, built for completely different missions, happened to be in position to observe it. NASA and ESA coordinated observations using Hubble, Webb, the TESS Planet Hunting Telescope, the Swift Observatory, Mars orbiters including Mars Express, ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, and even the Perseverance rover on the Martian surface. Europa Clipper caught a rare ultraviolet glimpse. The JUICE spacecraft, on its way to Jupiter's icy moons, happened to pass within about 64 million kilometers of the comet in November 2025 and turned its cameras and spectrometers toward it. In late 2025, X-ray telescopes, XRISM and XMM Newton, even detected a faint X-ray glow around the comet's nucleus, the first time an interstellar comet has ever been observed in X-ray light. None of these missions were built for this. 3I/Atlas just happened to fly through a solar system that we'd already filled with instruments, and for a few months, humanity's entire fleet of space hardware quietly became a single coordinated observatory pointed at a visitor from another star. Segment 5. So why should any of this matter to you, a person almost certainly not currently holding a telescope? Because interstellar objects are time capsules. Everything else in our solar system, every planet, moon, asteroid, and comet, was built from the same original cloud of gas and dust 4.5 billion years ago. It all shares one origin story. 3I/Atlas doesn't. It's a genuine outsider, a physical sample of material from a planetary system that formed around a completely different star, under completely different conditions, possibly before our own sun had even ignited. We didn't have to travel to another star system to study what one is made of. One drifted, uninvited and unannounced, straight through our front yard. And for a few months, we got to run every instrument we own over it before it continued on its way out, never to return. As of now, 3I/Atlas is already on its way back out of the solar system for good, fading past the orbit of Jupiter, too faint now for anything but the largest telescopes. We will very likely never study this particular object again, but it won't be the last one. Oumuamua in 2017, Borisov in 2019. 3I/Atlas in 2025. 3 interstellar visitors detected in under a decade, which tells scientists these objects are far more common than anyone assumed. The tools to catch the next one and study it even faster are already being built. Let's bring it home. Today, in one sentence, a piece of another solar system flew past our planet. Scientists confirmed it wasn't a spaceship, and in the process, we learned it might be twice as old as our own sun. 3 quick takeaways. 1. 3I/Atlas is only the 3rd interstellar object ever confirmed, and its hyperbolic trajectory proves it could not have originated in our solar system. 2. Its chemistry, an unusual methane ratio, and extremely deuterium-rich water, points to formation in an ultra-cold interstellar cloud, possibly 10 to 12 billion years ago. 3. A dedicated SETI radio search found 0 artificial signals. It's natural, and that's still remarkable. Science isn't a collection of cold, dry facts. It's the most profound story ever told, and this year, that story briefly included a visitor from another star. Next episode, The speed of light, why it's the universe's ultimate speed limit, what would actually happen if you broke it, and the strange consequences of living in a universe where even information can only travel so fast. I'm David. Thanks for listening. Stay curious.